Working on a Simplex steam locomotive, Part 20, mounting the boiler in the locomotive frames, using an unorthodox method which allows for boiler expansion. I have to find a way to hold the boiler in place, and the solution was surprisingly simple. I'm using the current ashpan as a template for when I make the new one. Normally, in a miniature locomotive, the boiler is held in place to the frames using some angle, like this off the previous boiler, and this in turn is held in place to the frames with another piece of brass angle. This forms an expansion joint. You need an expansion joint because when the boiler gets hot, it expands considerably. So by having two pieces of brass angle at each side, it allows the boiler to move. In my opinion, this piece of angle should have been built into the boiler when it was silver soldered. This is the ashpan, and quite frankly it's rubbish. I've ground a bit of it away to see how it's going to fit. I think I'm going to make a new ashpan, but for the moment I'm going to use this one as a template to help fit the boiler into the frames. The ashpan isn't made as shown on the drawing, and there's not much distance at the rear of the ashpan between the ashpan and the grate. I have a plan to make a boiler mounting. First of all, I need to measure in the frames to see how much room there is between the frame stretcher and the rear axle box. I'm going to cut this piece of steel bar into two pieces, which will be 4.5 inches long. These two pieces of steel will be fastened to the frames at each side, and the boiler can just sit on them. As I'm going to use this ashpan as a template, I need to make sure that it fits the boiler correctly. Currently, the crossbar that supports the grate is preventing the fitting of this ashpan in the correct position. I think first of all though, I'll cut the pieces of steel. This is part number 1 of the 2 that I need, so it's over to the bandsaw to chop it to length. Once I'd cut the first piece of steel, I used that as a template to set the position of the other piece. This current bandsaw blade has been amazing. I've never had a bandsaw blade that's lasted quite as long as this one. I marked out one piece of steel and cut the end off it like this, and I used the part that I cut off as a pattern to mark out the other end. I really didn't need to do this because when everything's bolted into the frames you won't see it. The idea being, of course, that these two pieces of steel will be held into the frames with two bolts and the boiler will sit on them. That's why I cut them as shown. My motto has always been, every part of the model you're making should be a model in itself. Now the time has come for a test fitting of the boiler into the frames, and the ashpan is currently held in place by the dump pin. Called as such because when you pull out this pin, the ashpan drops, dumping all the ashes onto the ground. This new boiler is a very snug fit in between these frames. It was initially too wide. The boiler bushes that support the blowdown valves wouldn't let it go into the frames. So I had to grind down these two bushes until they fitted. There are two of them, one at each side. In this clip you can clearly see that the blowdown valve bush is almost in the centre of the hole in the frames. In this clip I've removed the boiler from the frames, and with my Proxxon motor tool fitted with a very aggressive diamond cutter, I'm grinding away two cutouts, one at each side, which will accommodate the crossbar that supports the grate. Controlling this diamond cutter at this sort of a speed is very difficult, and I'm having to really hold on to the drill. The cutter is really wanting to dance about all over the place. Eventually that was one side done. The next job is to turn the boiler over, mark out the other side and do exactly the same at the other side. I hope these are in the right place because it's not good fun using this cutter. And if they're not in the right place, I will once again have to use the cutter to elongate them. This process is not damaging the boiler in any way, as the copper that I'm grinding away is only the surplus piece of inner firebox that protrudes below the foundation ring. After putting the boiler back in the frames on top of the ashpan, I do believe it's gone slightly lower. I'm not doing anything permanent in this episode, I'm just checking the alignment at the moment. It is essential that the chimney is vertical on the smoke box and aligns perfectly with the dome behind it. The engine needs to be on its side for this job, so I'm removing the chimney, removing the dome, and pulling out the petticoat from inside the smoke box. I'm quite pleased to see that it does come out. When I made the new petticoat pipe it was a bit tight in there, but it's okay. This engine has done quite a lot of running and it's extremely dirty, very oily, very grimy, So we'll have to do something about this, but I'm not going to do anything for the moment. First of all, I need to fit the boiler. Currently the boiler is sat in between the frames with the ashpan in place. So the first thing I need to do is remove the ashpan, just to make sure that I can easily remove the ashpan with the boiler in this position. In this clip, using a screwdriver, I'm positioning the boiler so that the holes which take the blowdown valves are exactly in the centre of the holes on the frame. And I also need to make sure there's a gap between the front of the boiler and the frame stretcher. Luckily, the position of the boiler worked out okay. In this clip, I'm using my caliper to get the accurate size of the hole in the frame, because I'm about to make a couple of washers to centralise the position of the blowdown valves at each side. And for that, it's over to the lathe. Here's the chuck in the lathe, just sat there. And here it is, fitted with a piece of phosphor bronze. There's nothing special to mention about this simple turning operation. After turning this to the finished size, the next thing to do is to drill the hole in the middle. First of all, using a centre drill in the tailstock chuck, followed by a 3/8 of an inch diameter twist drill. And now it looks like this. I've parted off one washer, this is the second one, and I use the first washer to gauge the thickness for the second one. With the blowdown valve holding the boiler in the right position, this is what it looks like underneath. As you can see, it's still not touching the frame stretcher, because it mustn't do this. When the engine is back together and the boiler is in steam, all of it will get slightly bigger, especially the length, so you have to accommodate this when you mount the boiler. This is one of the two pieces of metal that I cut that's going to support the boiler, and it's time to mount the first one in position. I measured the position of the one that you've just seen and transferred the measurements to the frame at the top side. I centre punched the holes first, and here I'm using my small Bosch electric drill to drill a 3/16 of an inch diameter hole through the frame. And here I'm rotating the wheels to move the coupling rod away from where I'm going to drill the second hole. In this clip, if you look at the top of the frame, you can see where the original bracket was fixed to the frame, which held the old boiler in place. But the old boiler, which is now scrapped, had some mounting bars silver soldered to the copper boiler firebox. I finished the drilling of the holes, brushed away all the swarf, except for one tiny piece which is currently embedded in my thumb and is causing me some pain. But one has to suffer for one's art, darling. The next job is to thread the metal bar to take these two 2BA bolts. This is a relatively simple job. I hold the metal bracket in position up against the boiler and use a felt tip pen through the holes to mark the positions. Then I drill them on the drilling machine, and here I'm preparing to tap the holes. The holes are drilled tapping size for 2BA, which in this case is 5/32 of an inch. Have I drilled the holes in the right place and have I threaded them properly? Well, the first bolt's gone in okay, and not unsurprisingly, the second one is doing the same. I then use the socket to screw them all the way into the bar, and on top of the special screwdriver I have one of these ratchet things, because these bolts need to be quite tight as I don't want them to work loose. This is the second steel plate, and this one's also been drilled in the drilling machine, ready to fit. I've turned the engine round, and this one that you can see is the one that I've just bolted to the frames. And as you can see here, the bolts are just the right length. They do not stick out of the piece of steel. If they were too long, they would foul the ashpan, and I don't want that to happen. So I did exactly the same with the other side, and now I have two brackets that support the boiler. I've removed the phosphor bronze washer, and here is the blowdown valve screwed into the boiler. The outer firebox wrapper and the foundation ring are now resting on the two steel supports. And with the blowdown valves in place, you can't lift the boiler off the frames, but it would move up and down. So what's the plan? Well, it's simple. Here is my box of silicone steam grade O-rings. I've selected a couple of O-rings like this, which are perfect for the job. After fitting the blowdown valves, I fit the O-ring, as you see here. And this solves any potential movement problem. When the engine is in steam and the boiler is hot, it can move around because it will compress the silicone O-ring, and it holds the boiler perfectly and firmly in place. And furthermore, I haven't pinched this idea from anyone. This is an original Keith Appleton modification, and I'm sure it will work fine. And that is it for this episode. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. and by using the playlists you can actually watch the videos back to back.